and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. So I've been paying attention to this Mumkey Jones situation. You know, he got his channel deleted. Actually, 2 channels deleted. One with, I think, 305,000 subscribers. Another with 80. And then, you know, this thing has developed over a number of days. It started out with him saying that his channel was under attack. You know, both his channels were under attack. That he had gotten multiple strikes against both channels. And then the very next morning, he announced that both channels had been terminated. And there was a back and forth between him and YouTube on Twitter, and I'm not even going to go through it. And many other YouTubers have talked about this. He's been on live streams with a number of other YouTubers. This one's with Rusty Cage. Who's got 1 million, who I've never heard of until now, even though he's got 1 million subs. So, you know, if you watch my channel, for some time, you know, I've floated this idea or this conspiracy that it wasn't necessarily YouTube that was behind the purge, and that was basically a group of other creators that might have been taking out other channels that are just competitors, you know, and that remains a possibility for me. Although there are elements of Mumkey's story that don't necessarily fit true to that theory. But what I've always thought is in this case, and I don't know if Mumkey will ever see this, and I think you know, he'll have to reemerge somehow, even though there were other developments beyond this in the days that followed that are even more worrisome. Because basically he had another channel he mentioned on a live stream that I watched last night. I think it was Tommy C's live stream show. That I think, you know, and I've been following his Twitter feed, that was his brother set it up. It was basically a gaming channel, and he was going to use that as his channel going forward, but that was taken down as well, you know. And basically, you know, that's YouTube. That's YouTube for sure. And I've seen other people go through the Twitter feed, the back and forth, the replies between Mumkey and YouTube's response. There's no question that YouTube is behind his channel being taken down. But one of the things that I always, something to consider is that in all these situations, things are never the same. And there's a ton of different, you know, things going on all at the same time, so that you never know what exactly one thing that happened. You know, it might have been 10 different things going on at the same time. You think it's one, and that one thing stops, but then there was also 9 other things going on at the same time. You know, there might be some combination of what I'm saying, you know, and I'm probably not going to make these videos anymore. Honestly, I was a little reluctant to make this one about this idea, you know, since YouTube seems to clearly be a part of this, you know, and that it's not just some rogue employees at YouTube that are working with other creators to kneecap channels that are competitors of others. And that still very well may be. It may be. Because believe me, there's elements of this that are very, very concerning. I mean, for starters, my mind's all over the place, and I'm trying to stay focused. But for starters, you know, why is it only happening to him? Why? I mean, that is a question I've had all along, is that why are certain channels going away? So I mean, he didn't get 3 strikes, you know, over the period of 6 months. He got them all within days. He was obviously targeted, you know. He was identified as something and taken out. So why does it happen to him? But then there's tons of other channels that produce content that is extremely sketchy, extremely, you know, and they just say it freely, unafraid, as if they're protected, man. And in fact, you know, those are the things that gain subs. I always wondered why certain channels, you see the views, and they got views, you know, 15,000 views, whatever. But you see the channel grow by, you know, 300, 400 subs a day. You know, they grow in these huge clips. And, you know, I was watching Agent of Doubt. I'm just going to keep going, you know, talking about this dude, Mumkey Jones, okay? And he said he literally went to his channel specifically and this is why his channel was taken down, because of this Elliot Rogers dude that he made many, many different videos about. And it's the, I forget what they call him, the guy who's celibate and he's takes out his revenge on people because girls are rejecting him. I forget what that's called. Damn, I'm not looking it up. So, but this agent of doubt was talking about, and he said he was just really interested in the story, and that he specifically found Mumkey for that reason, and he went back to his channel. He subbed him and went and watched his videos again and again just for that reason. Because basically there wasn't a lot of people producing, sort of informative content on it. And I'm not defending or anything. And I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying he went there for that reason. And when that channel goes around, that person, there's many of those dudes, right? And that dude had like a $15,000 sub channel or something like that. He's a painter, I think a legitimate artist, whatever, and he does his channel in addition to being a painter. But what I'm saying is that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of subs that now that he's gone, they got to go somewhere else, okay? And they do. And they go to other creators that somehow, for some reason, are creating content that's highly, highly, susceptible or just, basically very sketchy. And yet they still remain on YouTube. And that's how I think some of these channels that I see, they get tons of views. They already got tons of subs. And their views line up with their subs, because they have so many, they say they have 60,000 subs or 70,000 subs. So they get 10 or 15,000 views. But you see their channel growing by clips that, you're like, how are they gaining that many subs, with that number of views? And in my opinion, it's because of exactly events like this, where you have people that sub to certain channels, big and small, big and medium, and those channels go away, and those subs got to go somewhere. They go somewhere. Listen, he's obviously, the fact that he was starting up on another channel and they just smashed that too, is very scary, and that's why I'm like, this is YouTube, it's YouTube, but I don't know that it's altogether just YouTube. I understand the trusted flagger thing and the trusted flagger, and he worked with him. I'm not getting into specifics, man, but it just seems, you can't trust anybody, dude. I really don't, and because you just don't know who to trust, man. No way. So, what else was I gonna say? I'm sorry, man. I wanted to get this movie in the background, which is Night of the Living Dead, and is totally awesome during the Christmas season. So, let me sum up here real quick, and I know that was just a mess, but it's just life. So, a couple points I want to make, and it seemed like in his first video, the video where he's talking and his channel's under attack. And, he's got 2 strikes against each channel. Then the follow-up video, the very next morning, his channels are gone. First off, I can tell you, it's not the greatest idea. And I learned this, I didn't know this at the beginning, but it's not the greatest idea in the world to announce out there that your channel has 2 strikes against it. Okay, that's just a little tidbit for people out there. When you do that, you're basically saying to would-be enemies or people who are attacking your channel that they're close. That's number one. And that goes to the point of, even though this dude guy had a huge channel, he tells you in some of his videos that he's young, he's in his 20s, whatever. Number 2 is, he does meet the profile of what I was saying of certain creators that are kind of just lone wolf creators that are all on their own. They have become huge, become big on their own. They're making a living out of it, and they continue to get bigger and bigger. But they seem to be, just this one-man show that don't have a lot of support, don't have a lot of business savvy or maybe even technology savvy and savvy of YouTube, which make perfect candidates for this. And I'm sorry, but I think this dude actually met this profile based on some of the things, he says just doing that. I'm telling you right now, telling people you got 2 strikes against your channel is you're just saying, come shoot me, come take my channel. It is, and I didn't know that too. I mean, when I used to be one like, oh yeah, I want to go tell everybody what they're doing and show them your channel, which you're not supposed to do anyways. But so you're basically giving them a roadmap of what they could do. That's another point. That's number 2. Number 3, but one of his videos that got a strike against it, supposedly, according to him, was marked private from the very first time that he uploaded. It never got a single view, but it still got a strike against it. You know, and I am somewhat familiar with that. I've heard of that case before, and it just seems strange to me that that would happen. Like, why would it have to happen to that video of all the videos they could have had it happen to? You know, it's almost like, you know, that one was specifically chosen just to make sure that people don't suspect that there's something else going on other than YouTube just doing its normal moderating and normal, you know, normal flagging. If there, you know, it just seems suspicious to me that you know, of a channel that goes down. And I've heard of this in another instance, you know, of somebody getting a channel that, you know, getting a video deleted that really wasn't even, you know, live, barely at all, you know, and ended up getting him a strike. So that was number 3. Number 4, one of the things I always confused me is like, why did small channels get deleted? Why did these smaller 6,000 and 7,000, you know, sub channels get attacked in the purge? And I think I know why. If my theories are correct, and this could be the very last video I make on this, because I'm just going to try to grow my channel, and you know, and I don't know, man. I don't know, but I know why. I know a good reason why channels like 6,000 or 7,000 sub channel would go down. Is because, you know, if there was a group of creators out there who had basically figured out the entire system, the flagging system, and how to, and they have connections inside the trusted flagger systems, maybe even connections within YouTube, you know, friends that are employees or whatever, man, you know, they may need to test it out first, you know, test it out on some 3,000 and 4,000 sub channels before they go after the big channels, you know, to see if it works, you know, and that takes some doing, you know. You can't just do that on a 100 sub channel. You got to do it on a legitimate channel who's actually is a future competitor. They're not a major competitor yet, but they will be. And that was my theory on that. In case you're wondering, this is Mumkey Jones right there. All right, final point before I wrap up this video, and you know, I'd floated this idea about the Whitey Bulger, you know, idea, the Whitey Bulger idea, that basically maybe you have some creators who are part of like sort of the underworld of YouTube creators, you know, that are all part of the edgy, cool creators, but some of them are actually working, have flipped, and they're working, you know, as informants, like FBI informants, against other members, you know, and other crime families, other creators, to take out competition. That remains still a possibility, irregardless of the fact that you know, they're working with the FBI. The FBI working with YouTube, and you know, yeah, that's a possibility, dude. It's a possibility with me. This could be my last video on this subject. It could. Because the more real it gets, the more you know, yeah, it's not the greatest thing in the world to be making videos about. I think, I don't know, man. I just don't know. You know, I kind of thought that YouTube was cool with me recently. You know, my was always pretty moderate to begin with. You know, I never believe in any of this nonsense that's still out there right now, all over the place. It's complete, you know, crazy stuff that people say, and yet their channels continue to grow and grow and grow, and yet this dude gets you know, sixth, if that's the word. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video. Later, man. This could be the greatest day of our lives. Shit.